I think I may be just a little addicted to floating island organization. Hola familia, we are back today with another floating island video, except this time it's all about storage. Now, if you've seen my previous video, you know I used to be a total storage room girly. I had a different room for every single category, but after all the new DLCs dropped, bringing in a mountain of new resources, gems, and forageables, my poor little system just couldn't keep up. And honestly, after touring some of my community setups and seeing all those gorgeous storage rooms, I still kept getting drawn to the stunning storage islands. And when I realized I could eliminate all of those constant loading screens that come with entering each room, oh, I was sold. So in today's video, I'm gonna show you how I went from a traditional storage room to a thriving storage island. And honestly, I'm obsessed with how it came out. From the aerial view, you can see that I've split my island into 4 quarters. If you want to see how I've gotten it perfectly lined up as an X, definitely check out my VOD here on YouTube where I break down the initial builds and measurements. I wanted each section to have its own theme and vibe, but still feel cohesive overall. So I went with a mirroring pattern. Flowers and food each have cozy houses with little tables in front, while the gems and the crafting materials are tucked under gazebos. Speaking of sections, let's talk about how I broke up the island. So we have 4 main categories: flowers, gems, food, including fish, and then crafting material. Each category is organized in a way that's simple for my brain to process because let's be honest, I don't need to overthink every daisy and diamond, you know? A few quick things to know about storage islands. They work exactly like a house store. So no matter where you're crafting, whether it's in your valley or a DLC area, your game will still pull from your island chest. Quests will also recognize items stored here. The only exception is if a quest specifically requires you to have it in your backpack, but that happens even if you're storing items in your house. So literally no biggie. So let's start with flowers. The theme here is wild tangled / outdoor greenhouse. I've stored all my flowers by color, classic rainbow order, nice and simple. And I decided to use the mushroom tables because they are perfect for this section. They look like they sprouted right out of the ground. So something that was super natural and cozy. I also made sure that there's room to grow. So if I fill a chest completely, I can easily add more without crowding things or ruining the aesthetic. And then when more DLCs drop, because we know that there's one coming, I can just keep expanding my color. Inside the little house, I went for a botanical garden vibe, all lush and planty. Next up are the gems. The theme here is magical mushroom forest. And color-wise, this might be my absolute favorite section. It just feels so magical. The setup is almost identical to the flower section, with each chest is sorted by color, but I kept the shards, vitalis crystals, and other crafty gems separate because they're not quite the same as the gems. I've also got room to expand here as well. Each table only has 3 large chests currently, but you could easily fit about 3 more if you needed to. Also, because I went super heavy with trees in this area, don't feel like you have to stop at 4 gazebos. If I ever needed to expand, I totally could add more, or if you are following along with this, you can totally add more yourself. I just specifically scaled to match what I currently have in my inventory, which is not much. Now for the foods. This section was so fun. The theme is tea party, and I love how the yellows, pinks, and greens just melt together here. For the food, you can't really organize by color, so I split this section based on type. So forageables, meals, fish, and store-bought items like the milk, eggs, and cheese is how I decided to go with breaking it up. And here's how it's broken down. So for table 1, I have all the gatherable fruits, not growable ones, because as you know, those live on my farm island. If you haven't checked out my farm island, highly recommend that one as well. Everything I just put in alphabetical order and then split it amongst the 3 chests. Literally didn't overthink it. For table 2, all of the forageable herbs and spices, I grouped them by type. So we have veggies and sweet ingredients in one. I have herbs like basil and parsley in another. And then in the last chest, I added nuts and spices to just keep it simple. I also love how it looks on top of the tables. So honestly, I didn't overthink separating that as well. I just knew I specifically wanted all of these on this table. And now for table 3, all of my cooked meals. I got inspired by Kanto Kiddo here on YouTube, who took an entire stream to cook every meal. And I decided to copy core and do the same because it's just so convenient having all the meals already pre-made in your menu. And unfortunately, that was a lot of meals. So it took up a lot of my chest, which is totally fine, but I definitely needed to make sure that I had an area just for the food. Then we have table 4, which is my fish setup. I've got shells and seaweed in one chest. I have shellfish in another. And then in my third chest, I have all the funky looking fish in its own one, along with like the octopus and the squid. And then on table 5, I have all the remainder fish. And with those fish, again, I just put them in alphabetical order and split them amongst the 3 chests. Really didn't overthink it. Again, this is supposed to be aesthetic, but yet simple because my brain just can't handle anything more than that. Out here in the back, I have a cooking station and extra storage for the purchasable food. I'm thinking of it as my fake fridge setup. This is where I keep milk, eggs, cheese, yogurts, and random goodies like the ambrosia and the golden apples. And I also have the salt crystal here, which is typically something you fish out, but I feel like the salt belonged in a cabinet, right? Inside the house, I decided to go with a full-on dinner scene, which I absolutely love how it came out. I decided to use the bookcases to be wall separators. And in doing this, and in a lot of my indoor decorating lately, I realized I would love if we had partitions to break up rooms. I know we can make them different sizes, but I would love to break up a single room. So last, and certainly not least, leaves our crafting materials. The theme here is fall in Storybook Vale, and I am obsessed with how cozy this one feels. I organized each gazebo by material type. So in gazebo 1, I have all of the wood types. And since my dark wood chest was a bit empty, I tossed in the petrified wood, the pine cones, and the bones too. So the second gazebo has all of the stone, pebbles, clay, and metal bars such as iron, gold, and bronze, along with their corresponding ore. So for example, to make bronze, you need tin and copper, and for brass, you need copper and zinc. So I just threw all of those into one chest. And basically, I just have all the mineable items here stored in this one section, with the exception of clay and pebbles, but it just made sense to keep them here along with the brick. And then for gazebo 3, I have all of the diggable or gatherable crafting items. Yes, I have the snowballs here, but listen, we have a walking snowman walking around our valley. We are just gonna say that this is magic and these snowballs don't melt. But in this section, I basically have my soil, I have the bubbles that you can dig up over from the Storybook Vale DLC. Things of that nature is basically what I'm keeping over here. For gazebo 4, I basically have all of the time-bending materials, and I split the ancient cores to be in their own chests just because my time-bending chest is starting to get full, so I figured why not keep them separate. And in this specific area, I literally have nothing else, so if I need to expand more, there's definitely room to do so. And overall, in this section, like with every other one, there's plenty of room to grow. So you can always add more gazebos or tuck in extra chests behind the tables as new DLCs come out. There's more than enough space for growth. And that's it. That is my full storage island tour. Honestly, I didn't expect to love this setup as much as I do, but it's been such a game changer. No loading screen, super easy to find everything, and it's just so pretty to look at. I do want to take a moment and just show you what it looks like at night. And if you end up building your own storage island, please be sure to tag me on social media. I'm Steph Lenora everywhere, or be sure to join our Discord and post your lovely pictures there. I would love to see what your take on this is. Thank you so much for hanging out. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more cozy builds. And until next time, see you later.